Hi there, this is Manyways and I'm going to solve chess puzzles on Lichess today. Probably my nickname is just about the wrong thing to have when you are about to solve those, because oftentimes they require just one exact solution. At least it might be right if you think about the fact that there's many ways you have to think about before identifying the one that's going to be on board. Enough talk, let's get right into it, and we are facing this position. The white pawn just took a piece. Could even go back all the way now. This is improved. Lichess put an update in that, and now I can go all the way back through the game just for fun, flipping through that once more. And it even tells me which game that was. So it tells me it was McCarthy from Mexico versus Geekbrain. Both of them fairly high rated, with 2 points here. And this is a real game. This actually has happened. I have already told about that in the earlier versions. I think they were German, so I'll repeat here. Those tactic training examples are taken from real games. They are not artificial, they are not built by someone, they are not composed as you find them in your local newspaper perhaps. They are real games, and thus they tell you real things. They tell you what to do in a situation you have on board. There's nothing like the thing for traditional chess composing where it says if you are having more pieces on board than actually needed, those are not as clean and as beautiful as the others. But what about beautiful chess puzzles? It's about improving my chess, improving your chess, so I think those at Lichess are very much useful, and probably more useful than what you could read somewhere in traditional media. Let's go! I already mentioned white took a piece here. It was a pawn. And now there should be some way for us with the black pieces to improve. Let's see. So there's attacks against those 2 pawns. This one on g2 even seems loose. What about a check here? It's always worth a thought. I don't see any forks or screws. There's not even a double attack on the diagonal because there's no black bishop on the black fields, on the dog squares. So that doesn't seem to be the issue. What about pushing here? Can we trap the bishop? I don't think so. You should be okay with just leaving, thinking along this line, but I still don't get the pawn to here. Oh, no, I don't get it protected. What about giving check here? And after he takes, I could take his knight on f2. Oh, it's also new, by the way, is this nice little bar here telling me how I scored in the recent chess puzzles and tactic puzzles. I obviously didn't score too well. I shouldn't definitely do that in the mobile app where it is available, if I'm not mistaken. At least on Android it is. But you still wait for my ideas here, I suppose. I don't know how to start this off. Still have those 2 in mind mainly. Can I get the knight back after I give it there? I don't see anything. What's the characteristics of my position? I got a nice barrier here for the king. I'm sorry, but I don't see any mate threats or any way to push him in a position where he's not comfortable. He could always go this way and end up here and beat 3 pretty sadly. Right now this is attacked, but if I would try to pull off something, I probably had to move the bishop to create more tension, and then this square would be one he could try to flee to. What else is in there? I'm really not sure yet how to tackle white. I just took that pawn. What does it say? What does it change structurally for the game? I could take... What if I just took that pawn here? What would that change? Oh, by the way, there's no more difficulty level, obviously. Probably they're just trying to mirror that on the scores you get for solving. I basically think this is my best option right now. I don't see this check leading anywhere, just losing material. This is just pushing the bishop to an arbitrary square, and I don't have a follow-up there. Taking here doesn't help, even though it opens... Oh, now I see something. Opening that line. Essentially, the rook is eyeing up on this f2 knight white has, and I always tried to get here with check, but if I get with the knight to e4, his knight can just take me and is well off. He's moved the knight out of the attack and also won material here. But what about the same thing is valid for knight takes g4, unless except that I get a pawn and lose the piece for it. But what about going here? Knight to g8 attacks his rook. The knight is not in a pin. There's this lucky pawn on c6 protecting me, well, my king. And I'm at the same time attacking the knight on f2. And what about thinking what changed? If I did do that now, I obviously didn't have the attack here on the knight, but also the knight could have taken here on g4, which he can't do anymore now, since g4 is occupied by one of his own pieces. So, knight to g8 it is. He tries to get back this pawn, and I think I will let him, taking his knight with jack, so I'd also get the... Well, let's assume he might follow up like this, and I'd also get back my... or his g2 pawn, so he can take here, and I don't know how that would follow up, but basically I could possibly even get that pawn, so that doesn't matter too much anymore because I got the piece here. I got 8 points for that, and off we go for one more. Knight takes d5, attacking my queen. I don't like my queen to be attacked, but anyways, who likes that? First idea is the bishop to h2 check. He might go to the corner, and probably he's well off. Nothing too scary. What did I lose here? Pawn. Even though it's exchanged, so I'm not down material. One idea might be pushing the queen into problems, especially trying to deflect her from the d5 knight, which I then might gobble up with my bishop here on e6. Also, ideas, classic ideas, is bishop takes h3, opening up his position and then trying to follow up with the second bishop and the queen. I don't see that succeeding here though. Time for other plans. What about this queen hunting ideas? Attacking the queen feels more dangerous for white if I go here on e5, because I also eye up on the rook and more concretely the b2 pawn. That's more serious or more real yet, but still the rook is behind it. Point is, I have to take care of my queen. So why don't you tell me? Probably many of you already wrote in the comments that I should take care of the queen, or thought at least they would like to help me out in that one. What about that? how could I reposition my queen in a way that's good for me? I could just take the knight, but is it going to be the best thing I can do? Taking the knight, and how to follow up attacks against the queen and f6 doesn't seem to be anything really serious. I can't see how that really troubles white. But I probably, on the other hand, I don't see either how this could be not taken by me. Probably there's magical ways not to take that knight, but I just try. Oh, he takes over there. I had to continue now. Probably we'll have this check first, because if I take now, he can take my bishop. But if this bishop was gone, I'll have a red circle around it. If this one was gone, my queen would, see the red arrow, would protect this bishop. So if we go here, let's think once more, right? We go here. I had in mind king to f1 when I could just take here. But what if he goes to h1? Could we... How could we follow up then? Is there anything we can do? Or could we try to hunt the queen? No, probably not. I think that must be the way to improve here. But I don't quite fully see how, because I take the bishop and he gets my bishop back. At least I'm up material then. It's a pawn. Okay, I can try again, it says here. I'm sorry, it's German. I should have changed the language, but I originally planned to do this in German, so forgive me for changing the language almost a second before starting to record here. Oh, I see it now. Let's tell you about that. I'm damn that I lost 16 points on that. But the idea is reversal of moves. If I take here first, I get a piece, and if he takes here, his queen is unprotected on d5, and I can throw in this check, which costs me the bishop but wins me the queen. Here we go. I don't know what I can... I could vote for it, but doesn't seem to do anything. Popularity 0. Let's go for one last. There's gonna be a long video. I hope you stay with me all through it. White moved his knight to c3. Last move. His rook is under attack. I could take, he would take back like this. I don't know if that's something I should be worried about or should be after. On the other hand, he just moved in here and offered me the exchange. Basically his rook can't escape, so that might be an issue here. I probably would just exchange and then take the rook, moving my rook here, trying to win the material, right? Is there more to it? Any checks that are nasty? Is long diagonal open, but nobody can take advantage of it, at least not my pieces can. I don't see anything else than taking. What about the material? I guess we should be greedy. Yes, that's right. Let's play on a little, because it's not so obvious that's a good move, because he has a far advanced pawn. But the thing is, I guess I can hold it pretty easily, because he doesn't have too much to throw on this pawn. Let's say we could try to attack that pawn, forcing his queen to watch over him, and while she's watching over the g6 pawn, she can't actually and easily help in attacking the h5 pawn, which is probably the one I have to hold to keep that situation on the king side in calm state somehow. And she can't attack both except for this field here, g5, and g5 is protected. So little advantage, but it should be enough to get something rolling here on the queen side. All my pieces are there except of the rook, and the queen has some responsibility to put pressure on this g6 pawn, but probably I should be okay and win that if my opponent is not too much stronger than I am, at least not in endgames. So, thanks for watching. There's a couple of new features. We could turn on computer analysis here, by the way. Let's see. Computer suggests what I did, of course. And you can even see here that 3 moves are ranked from the engine, by the engine. I take here, he takes back, and the engine suggests to go for rook to h6. I had imagined the bishop to attack me there, forcing. I thought it forces me back, but actually I can take the pawn, which is loose then, so he'd have to protect it first. And now I have time to get something started before getting into trouble there. So, thanks for watching, and thank you to all the guys at Lichess making this super awesome tactics trainer. You just made it even better than it was already. Congratulations, very, very good work. Thank you very much. Goodbye.